Welcome to Industry Insights. Today I'm talking to Joe Witte, Vice President of Ecosystems and Partnerships at TagOne. Hi, Joe. Great to have you on my interview series today. Would you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Joe Witte. I'm the Vice President of Ecosystems and Partnerships at TagOne. Joined the company I've been with the company almost for 2 years now, and I've been an entrepreneur and was a veteran in the military. And great to be here, Stephanie. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining. Can you give us some more detailed information about the company you're working for, about TagOne?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really venturing into an exciting area, and the company's primary mission and objective is to help natural product and food companies track and trace their supply chain ingredients, documents, and data from seed to sale. Now, oftentimes it doesn't start handling the whole component right off the beginning. It may start with, hey, who are your suppliers and who are your buyers, and what's the certificate of analysis or CFAs that are coming in? What are their ingredient supplier certifications, tracking transactions, and then ultimately expanding that network to get more visibility up and down the supply chain. And the reason we want to do this, Stephanie, is really important. We realize that in our food, there's of course food safety and security challenges, right? We hear about romaine, onion, meat products that can have issues, but even product provenance as we start to venture in sustainability. Where did this product come from? Did it come from where this company says it did? And also to avoid food fraud, certainly for things like honey or wine or olive oil, that people are adulterating the products with other things that aren't what they say it is. We think this could be really important to help solve that problem.
Yeah, traceability is the key really these days, and it's so important to ensure quality of food and ingredients. And so this is a great job you're doing really, and you're using blockchain technology, right?
We are. So when we started to develop the technology, probably 4 or 5 years ago, it started to intersect with blockchain technology. And one of the misnomers about blockchain is that it suddenly puts all your data out on the internet for everybody to see, and that's not the way we operate. This is a private blockchain. In essence, what that's going to do is take your data, key data, push it to a hash in your private blockchain, which means nobody sees it unless you want to share it. And I like to equate it to a permanent red line Word document. So if there's ever a discrepancy, or you ever want to know if something's been changed, you can recognize it's been changed and it's immutable. So inherently, it helps validate data that's being transferred from one point to another, which is important because we need a single source of truth as important data on our food and beverages that we're putting in and on our bodies is migrating up and down the supply chain.
Yeah, absolutely. That is really important. Are you also tracking or helping companies do their recalls through your system and through your solution, or is that not really part of what you're offering?
Great question. So inherently, when you have tight data, right, and it all starts in culture and values. Hey, do we believe in doing the right thing and being transparent in how we operate? And then it starts with your process. And even before you get into a software system, you need to have a tight process. And so that's what, in the US, they have what's called the GMP certification and other, SQF certifications to make sure that you're doing things the right way. You may start in paper and then move to Excel, and then move to a digital solution where you can tie it all together. But you may have a master list of approved suppliers. You may have a list of who all your buyers are, have all their certifications, all the documentation, tracking transactions. So when you get very surgical in putting the data the right way, our tech traceability system inherently is going to make that a lot easier. So if you have 5 lot numbers going into one single blended ingredient, and you can see the 5 customers who purchased that, inherently, if you need to do a recall from one of your suppliers, and you know that these 5 buyers bought it, what that's going to avoid is having to do what's called an any and all recall, where you have to pull everything back because you're not quite sure, did they get it, did they not get it, and which can be financially brutal, reputationally can be really difficult too. But to do it with confidence and say, hey, you 5 customers, pull this back, here's the situation, and the other 500 customers, that they're safe, is very important. So that is kind of a built-in component of what we do. But in essence, what we're talking about is tech traceability.
Mm-hmm.
in kind of knowing where products and documents and have that all tied together, what we call an integrated supply chain up and down your supply chain system.
Yeah, it's really important to also kind of take the recall process out of the crisis mode and turn it more or less into an everyday
That's right.
usual business practice, because you're all prepared, you're trained, you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know where to get your data from. And so that is really an essential part of doing it in a calm and easy way. And yeah, just know what you do and do it efficiently. And yeah, that's really important.
Absolutely. And feeling confident that, wait, now we know that data and information we put in our system before, we feel really confident in it, right? Because if you put something
Yeah,
in a spreadsheet and you may have 5 or 6 people in there, we think this is right, we hope it's right, but when people's lives are on the line,
yeah.
those
You
are
want to be
bets that
sure.
you like have to, are you willing to bet somebody's life and your company's reputation on that data? And this is something like having a system to do that gives you that confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still working really on educating European and German companies these days on in having more trust and be more open to solutions like blockchain or cloud solutions, because currently they are a little bit holding back and a little bit well, almost not really scared, but you know, just careful really with how to handle their data, because of course they don't want the world to see their data regarding their products and how they handle stuff. So but I think if you're doing it wisely, if you really find a customized solution, and if you do a lot of research to defining what fits your needs and your requirements individually, you're I mean, there is no better solution out there than using digitalization for managing your processes really. And be sure you do it in the right way, the best way possible, as fast as possible, to in the end protect the consumer and protect your own brand, of course.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's not even an option anymore, to be honest with you, Stephanie, to move towards digital solutions
Yeah.
where, certainly you want to look at a centralized platform, like you said, that single source of truth where everybody's integrated and you can quickly click on a lot number and see who the supplier was, and then click back and see where's their, like, there's their organic certification. When does it expire? Here's the C of A's associated with that. And then ultimately, when you start to get digital, what you're going to be able to do is capture analytics, right? So
Right.
something we built into our platform is we call our electronic certificate of analysis, where you can put in specs and start to see trends on, all right, this client's product, the heavy metals look like they're starting to increase. Like, why is that? This one is not the case, or this supplier tends to send their things on time and this one sends it late. Whatever it may be, to have predictive analytics to see where things are going before they become a problem is really important. To have speed and agility in order to make changes and find information, whether it's for an audit. Audits sometimes can take days on end, but if everything is in one system, it could take hours to get all the information you need. And to not have people working in different systems in different offices and not access data, frankly, it's just not it's not acceptable anymore.
Yeah.
The technology is available. We certainly understand that it can be scary to change. Change is a little bit scary. Embracing new systems can be a little bit scary, but I know that we wanted to make sure that it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing overly complex about what we do. It's just putting the data in, filing in reports, and kind of
Mhm.
going from there.
Yeah, and if you want to survive on the market, really, you you can't go without it. Really, I mean, you have to be part of it. You have to accept it. You have to get used to it. And the best way is to educate yourself and your team, and just be open-minded. In the end,
That's right.
which
You
is
know,
true for a lot of things.
Of course. And so, anything we're putting in our bodies or on our bodies, there's risk associated with that. And I think the more that I've, dove into this industry, I did not realize how much risk there was associated with that. Risk comes in many ways, right?
It sure
Certainly
does.
class action lawsuits or individual lawsuits or FDA in the US or other regulatory scrutiny. Just got word from a global risk company that one of their clients has been shut down by the USDA until they can get certain upgrades to their facility. That's a killer, right? That's
Yeah.
revenue. But if the word gets out about that, now you deal with reputational risk,
Hmm.
insurance premiums skyrocketing because these issues continue to crop up. So we as organizations can either lay the foundation and do things the right way and continue to build on that over time, or we can potentially put the whole business at risk on top of consumers who could run into problems or get sick down the road. So it's just about embracing new technology and recognizing that change is constant. We just have to keep up with it.
That's true. Well, all great information and insight in what you're doing and how you do it and how we can educate companies for the future. Be ready, be prepared. So thank you very much for your time and for participating in this interview. And until we meet next time, I'll just have to say stay safe and all the best to you. And thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Stephanie, for having me.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome. Bye. That has been today's episode of Industry Insights. Today with Joe Witte. Thanks for your attention and see you again soon.